Grandma DC here, and it's a new day. Lots going on, and I realized I have a lot to tell you. But first, I want to show you my new, well, not new, mostly out of old junk around here, outdoor shower I managed to put together, but there is an issue. There we go. I finally got it all up. Mother came up with the brilliant idea to run the hose through the window and into the laundry room and hook it to the washing machine hookup. Brilliant! Until I came in and saw that this guy that put all this stuff in has welded these. I guess he glued them. They will not unscrew. Brilliant idea, thwarted once again. So now I'm still on the lookout for an adapter for the kitchen sink so that I can actually shower since we don't have a tub anymore. You guys are getting big, aren't you? Look how big they're getting. Hello, Gomer. How you doing, Gomy? And there's Miss Henri Olivia, my little black olive. Yes, you are the honoriest of the bunch, both of you. Oh, somebody's missing out on a sweet baby. I can't give him away. I tried. Yes. Oh, Mama, check her out. She's okay. There's Stumpy. Yes, and Hissy. Hissy is down here. He's eating. The cage needs cleaned, as usual. I'll be so glad to not have to do that anymore when these guys get set free. If they just survive the awaiting cat murderer, plural, hers. I've decided Angus has diabetes. I don't know. What are we gonna do? We'll try to feed him more fat and less carbs, and yeah, Mama gets you good food. So we're back. Keto Carnivore Coffee Chat. Well, as things continue to go down the drain, and or not go down the drain, as it were, pun intended, I talked with my daughter again. We had another nice chat. I drove all the way to Columbia and took her a bunch of keto things that I had around here, oat fibers and powdered fibers and things that she could use to bake for her husband who is doing keto, since I'm now doing carnivore. And she had the best explanation. I mean, I think some of you others, like the others, some of you all had great suggestions and ideas about why I swelled up like a poisoned toad when I fasted for 2.5 days. And my daughter agreed, and she said that it was the glycogen. I had so much glycogen in my body that, you know, I guess it just came out of the fat and it went into my joints, and there you go. That's as scientific as it gets for me. I said, I don't want to do that again. It hurt for weeks. It's been 2 weeks now nearly. And I'm just now starting to not hurt as much and be able to move again. It really put the Kaiwalis on me, I can tell you that. Okay, so I was telling her that I had about 5,000 subscribers, and I'm like, oh, I need to do something special, and she says, start a Patreon, because of course I was whining like we all do about not enough money. And I've got the appointment. Oh, this is exciting news. We'll stop there at not enough money because everybody knows that's just constant. But I have the appointment to get the kitties spayed and neutered on the 22nd. So they're not going to be in the cage much longer. So I said to my daughter, if I start a Patreon, I feel like I should do something special. And there ain't nothing special about me. I don't know what I would do. She says, oh my gosh, you tell so many stories, and ones that, frankly, I can't tell on YouTube. Yeah, they'd be a little too shocking for the masses, I think. So she says, you could do your outtakes and your little commentaries that you normally wouldn't put out there for the masses. Oh, that's a genius idea. My daughter's a genius. I may not be, but I gave birth to one. There you go. I'll take it. Speaking of being second best, I have a story to tell you about tops. Now, for those of you that don't know, the TOPS Club, TOPS, stands for Take Off Pounds Sensibly. They are nationwide. This club is almost universal. And what it is it's not a diet. I mean, you don't have a certain diet. It's not like, you know, Weight Watchers, counting points or anything. You can do any diet you want because it's take off pounds sensibly. You can do whatever you want. I can do the carnivore diet. I could do keto. I could do vegetarian, whatever you want. But it's a support group. You go to it and you have friends. You weigh once a week and they clap for you, or it's okay, you'll get it next week. You know, you just get sympathy and support. And I belong to one off and on, oh gee, it might have been even nearly 20 years. And it started in my early 30s. I'm assuming they're still going. I'm certain they are. This is not an organization that's going to stop soon. And the dues are cheap. It was like $2 a month back then. I don't know what it is now. So the first time I joined, Eli was a baby and he's 30 now. Let's not all do math at once. I certainly don't want to. It's too early in the morning. And I was so excited. I was young, dumb, naive. Weren't we all? And I was so excited and I joined, and they were all older women. As a matter of fact, I think they're all dead now. I was the youngest one in the group. And they were so excited to have me, and I was excited too. And my husband was alive. We were a young couple, and I weighed probably about 300. That's my fighting weight. My body says, yes, 325. You are perfect at that. Let's just go there. And I'm always like, no, let's not go there. Okay. But anyway, it's about 325 pounds or so when I started. And it may have been after I had all that prednisone. I might have been closer to 400. Because I had to live on prednisone for a year and a half because I have sarcoidosis. Anyway, that's another story. So, I go to my meetings and it takes a whole year. And in a year, I think, what kind of diet was I doing? Good question. I don't remember. I'm probably counting calories, you know. Oh, I think it might have been Richard Simmons with the cards that you put. I ate a pat of butter. That was my fat for the day. I ate an ounce of beef. That was my meat protein, you know. I liked that thing. I wished I still had it. It was a lot of fun. I think I was doing cards, Richard Simmons, and I lost 150 pounds, approximately. Might have been 155, might have been 145, but it was around 150 pounds. I was so proud of myself. And as we know, when we lose weight like that, we get very hyped. It's like, I want to help others do it. I want to tell people you don't have to live miserably obese and ashamed of yourself. And, you know, I've done it, the struggle and it was the longest year of my life. And I was just so excited. And as you can tell, I like to talk. So, I won Division 1. And every year they have a huge topics convention that people go to for like a weekend. And it's at a motel, you know, like each state I think has their own, in their own state. And this was for Missouri. And I remember it was down south somewhere, Cape Girardeau or something. I don't really remember. And so, I mean, like, I was just full of confidence. I was full of, you know, I did it. I can help others do it. This is my calling. I found my life's special purpose. I found my special purpose. It's to help others lose weight. Oh, I was so hyped. So my husband went with me, and we drove down for the big convention. All right. And so I get there, and my group of women, I think only 3 of them went, because, you know, it cost a little bit. Not everyone could, you know, you have to pay your own way. And so I had 3 of them, and they were like patting me on the back, and oh my God, you won Division 1, which is like the top division, most weight loss ever in the state, you know. And oh, it's just going to be so exciting and so exciting. And I had my speech prepared. And I didn't know where to go, who to talk to, and everyone just kind of ignored me when I signed up. No one said, oh, you're Division 1 winner, come this way, Madam Queen. You know, no one said anything to me. And so I got into the big hall, and I think one of their first meetings and greetings, and they have these little things and stuff, and, you know, little rah-rah clinics, and I think we went to 1 or 2, and then we went to, like, the big one where they were going to announce and let people do speeches. And I'm like, oh, I I had my speech memorized. It was a good one too. Boy, was it, I don't remember it, but it was awesome. That part I remember. So, we get into the convention hall, and I'm like, they're gonna call me, you know. I'm so, and there was like, oh, I don't know, probably 500 people. I've never spoken in front of this many people, and I was really nervous. I hadn't taken speech yet in college, because I didn't go to college till I was in my 40s after my husband passed away. So, but I was gonna do it. I was so hyped to help others. And so I waited and waited, and they were getting ready, and they said, and now for our special guest of honor, Joanne Fetchencrotch. What? And I thought, well, maybe it was Dr. Joanne Fetchencrotch or something. I mean, maybe this is someone from high up somewhere, you know? And this girl who was still overweight goes up, and they put her on the stage. The whole place explodes in, oh yay! And I'm like, who's Joanne Steppencrotch or Fetchencrotch? And she starts talking, and she says, thank you so much. And they announced her, and she is Division I, second place winner. Second place winner? Oh, I know. She's going to speak first, and then they're going to call me. Okay. Oh, I see. It's like a runner-up thing. That's what I thought. Okay. And she proceeds to give this kind of inane little speech. It wasn't very exciting, and it certainly didn't have a lot of humor to it. And I was like, okay. When she comes off the stage, that'll be that. So she comes off the stage, and everybody stands up and starts crowding towards her, and this woman shoves me aside and says, out of my way, I want to go see Joanna and have my picture taken with her. You know, I stumble sideways. I'm like, okay. And no one ever called me. As a matter of fact, Miss Joanne Fetchencrotch was asked to speak at almost every single venue that we went to. Everywhere you went, it was like a swarm of bees around Joanne Fetchencrotch, and no one even spoke to me. My group was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea, but I can tell you this, my heart had sunk to my feet. The lump in my throat had risen. I was young, and I wanted to cry. This really wasn't what I expected, you know, all my high hopes and everything. So the next day, the end of it, when you have the end, they have everybody come up on stage. And I didn't know where to go. No one would tell my husband and I where we were supposed to be, at what time. We couldn't find anybody that knew anything. And my husband, bless his heart, did the best. He got like a roster, and he was military. You know? And he's like, this is where we go here, this is where we go here. And he got me across town to the convention center where we were supposed to be. And I walk in, and this woman says, you're late. Oh, I told her who I was, because she didn't know. And she says, you're late. We're already getting ready to go up on stage. And I had on my brand new size 14 formal. It was a thing of beauty, because I had bought a new dress, and I was all dressed up, so pretty. And I was so proud of how I looked and everything, because I was looking good. Size 14, I'll tell you what. A lot better than Joanne Fetchencrotch. Yes, truthfully. So they get up there, and they start handing out awards. And so they start at the bottom like you do, you know, and in third place, and in second place, Miss Joanne Fetchencrotch! Yay! And the crowd goes wild. And in first place, with a 155-pound loss, Elise Keith. The crowd was shocked. No one knew there was a 150-pound winner who had lost 150 pounds because Joanne Fetchencrotch had lost 95. I accepted my reward, kept the tears down, didn't cry. I guess they would have thought they were tears of joy. Instead, they were just tears of disappointment. And I took my plaque home, and we got in the car, and I was crying then. And my husband's like, well, you didn't lose the weight for them anyway. You lost it for yourself. And I have to tell you, I had a husband who did not like me dieting. He liked big women. He wanted me large. And there was safety in keeping me fat because, you know, other men won't look at your wife. Yeah, that whole bugaboo we've all been through with men, some men. So I whined and cried all, you know, halfway, until he said, look, shut up, I'm tired of hearing about it. You know? And empathy all around. Thank you. So I got home, took my plaque out to the backyard, built a little funeral pyre and burnt the dang thing, quit tops and went back to eating the normal sad American diet, and I gained back up to 325, which is where my body wanted to be, and I think it only took me 2 months to get back after a whole year to get it off. So it gave me pause at a young age to, you know, think, hang on, the bell just rang. But I'm popular today. And I'm back. Where were we? So it gave me pause to think, you know, did I lose the weight for me or did I lose it for them? And both. I think when you're in a support group, you lose weight not only for your supporters, your friends, the people that you're with who cheer you on, but you also lose it for yourself. However, at such a young age, it was so hurtful to have been shoved aside and treated so poorly. So I went ahead and stayed away from tops for several years. I went back and I lost 95 pounds on the second try 5 years later or so, and won second place in Division I. And I think I didn't even go. I chose, it wasn't even worth going to the convention. They did give me the plaque. I had a second plaque, and similarly I did the same thing to it I did to the first one. I burn it in the trash because it meant nothing. The second time around, I did do it for me. I was like, yeah, I don't give a rat's tootie about your awards and your ceremonies, and because it was just a big popularity contest. Who knew who? Apparently, Miss Joanne Fetchincrotch was in the head chairman woman's tops group, her little local group, and so that head chairman had been the one that had honored her at the big convention, and not me. Or our group. It was a shame because actually our little town group should have had the honor of having the Biggest Loser, but yeah. So it was extremely disappointing, that, you know, whole story. And the second time I lost weight, I lost it for myself, but similarly, after a while, you just, you know, start bouncing back up, slowly up. No matter what you do, you stop eating altogether and it still goes up, and then you're like, I just can't eat any less and less and less, and starving and passing by the Chinese restaurant and not going to family reunions and trying not to eat socially and starving and you finally just go, and it doesn't matter what I do, the weight's just going back up, so why not enjoy life, you know? So that's gone on for years, and then I have now found the carnivore diet. And I was great until I cut to 0 calories and went on a 2.5-day starvation, and then I plateaued. When I say metabolically imbalanced, out of whack, that's this body. I don't know that I'll ever be thin. The only thing I can say is I am extremely thrilled with the carnivore diet for the lack of pain. And after losing almost 40 pounds, around there, I can now get up off of the couch. That is such a bonus. And my son's moving out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. He should be completely out. And I was really afraid that if I slipped and fell outside on the ground, there's going to be no one around out here to hear me screaming and yelling. And I couldn't get off of the ground. At 300 plus pounds or so, gravity had me. Gravity works, as they say. And it was scary to not be able to get up off of the ground, to be stuck, and there's no one around to help. So I can now get up off of the ground. It ain't easy. I have to kind of crawl around and get my elbows on things, but I can crawl and I can get my elbows on things. So huge help in the pain department and being able to get up off of the ground. That's the most important thing in my life right now. That and getting the plumbing fixed. So my daughter's real tiny. I said, you want to crawl under a tiny little crawl space under the house and see if you can get the pipes back on? She's like, yeah, I know. It's okay. Maybe a year or two, I'll come up with enough money, we'll find somebody like we did before. It's going to rain today, so the flies all want to come in. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this story. I have many, many more, and I don't tell them very often. And I hope that Joanne Fetchencrotch, if you are out there, I'm glad they honored you, because I'm sure that you went on to lose another 50 pounds or so, and then you probably gained it all back just like me. Well, I hope we find the solution someday. I hope the carnivore diet is it. Thinking about making a coconut cheesecake. Diet. Oh, come on, you know. The moral of the story is, if there is one, that none of us are in this journey to health or weight loss or just wanting to get up off of the ground and defy gravity. That we're in it together, and you're not alone. I'm here. I may not be able to honor you and let you give a speech, but I certainly have given one now, haven't I? I love y'all. Hang in there.